Senator Durbin.
Thank you, Senator Lee. Ms. Cleveland, you've given a pretty lengthy bill of particulars in reference to the special prosecutor, Jack Smith. I tried to keep up with your statement. You've accused him of being a hyper-aggressive prosecutor, partisan, deputies who are politically partisan, running some sort of partisan protection racket, unconstitutionally appointed, a litany of constitutional misconduct, guilty of a fishing expedition, and on and on. Would there be value for you to be able to ask Mr. Smith questions about your assertions?
Only after I've seen enough background information to pose good questions, such as Senator Grassley's release this morning revealed for the first time that he had...
No, I'm just asking in general terms, not that get specific.
Well, as a lawyer, I have to give you the specific answers to the question.
Well, I'd like you to do it very briefly because I have a limited period of time. I'm just asking you if you had a chance to ask Jack Smith questions.
Not until I've seen the documents that will inform the questions and be able to confront him. You don't do a deposition until you've done document review.
I think that goes without saying in the practice of law. But let me ask you if you could ask him questions under oath, whether that would be more value than just general questions.
Again, after I've seen the documents.
You don't think being under oath puts any special obligation on a person who is asked a question?
You can be under oath, and if you're not confronted with the evidence, the answer is not going to be as informative.
It sounds like you're afraid to face him.
Not at all.
Well, good. Let me ask you this question. If you could do it in the setting of, say, the Senate Judiciary Committee, and you had a chance to ask those questions under oath, do you think that might be of value?
After I've reviewed all of the relevant documents, including the ones hidden in prohibited access.
How about we make sure that that meeting of the Judiciary Committee is public so America can witness the questions and answers? Would that be of value?
After all of those documents have been released, yes.
Oh, you wouldn't want to testify, you wouldn't want to question him until all the documents have been released?
The relevant documents that are hidden in prohibited access, absolutely need those before you question him.
That may be a luxury which most attorneys and others would not have access to.
Well, they shouldn't have been hidden in the first place.
Well, it isn't a question of hiding as much as legal access. The point I'm getting to is that for the last 6 months, the Democrats on this committee have said to the Republicans on this committee, bring Jack Smith into this room, sit him down in front of that microphone, put him under oath, and ask whatever questions you have. All these assertions, the bill of particulars has been issued by some of the witnesses today, would have to be confronted by him directly, under oath, in a public hearing for the America to see. Of course, any lawyer who's been on a law school more than 15 minutes know that there's value to the circumstances of asking those questions. But they won't do it. For 6 months, the Republican majority wants to hear hearing after hearing of what's wrong with Jack Smith, and the one person they should ask that of directly, Jack Smith, they won't call before this committee. What are we waiting for? If this is worse than Watergate, as some senators have asserted, isn't it about time that we get to the primary source, Jack Smith under oath, under penalty of criminal perjury or perjury, if he fails to testify? I don't get it. What are they waiting for? They'd rather have the hearings than have the answers. And that, to me, doesn't help. Mr. O'Leary, how many years of service did you give to the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Over 20, sir.
Did you retire?
I did, yes, sir.
And you said quite a bit about what the Federal Bureau of Investigations means and what they stand for. One of the things that I noted that you didn't have time to read into the record, I want to make sure is noted, and that is your statements about Robert Mueller. What you had to say about him is amazing. You say, the example set by Robert Mueller established a standard of quiet professionalism, integrity, and disciplined leadership that permeated every level of the Bureau. That is high praise. I feel the same way about him, and I hope I made it clear in my opening statement. Where are we now? We're 15 months into this new president, 48-month term. damage has been done to the Federal Bureau that you've described as generational damage. What's the future of the FBI?
What the FBI deserves and needs is a unbiased leader, somebody with investigative and operational experience and leadership experience, and a commitment to public service and justice. Unfortunately, I do not see that in the current director. He does not have any background or experience, and he lacks the character and the disposition to carry out the duties that the American people deserve, and the country is less safe under his leadership.
I agree with your conclusion, and a great deal has to be done to rehabilitate and resurrect this great agency. Thank you very much.